COVID-19 vaccination for teenagers to be extended to herd immune states. 200 frontliners to be dispatched to Pulau Pinang. Welcome to News at 10 with me, Brendan Lepore. The COVID-19 vaccine injection for teenagers can be extended to states that have achieved the herd immunity. Science, Technology and Innovation Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Adam Baba said the focus now is to ensure all the adult population in the country had completed the vaccination under the National COVID-19 Immunisation Programme PICK.
Suntikan vaksin kepada remaja, kita selesaikan program PIK dulu. Kita setakat ini menggunakan satu vaksin saja, iaitu vaksin Pfizer untuk remaja ketika ini, yang mana kita dapat semua data-data klinikal yang dikatakan selamat, berkesan dan juga berkualiti. Walaupun kita tumpukan kepada remaja yang berumur 17 tahun, 16 tahun dan juga remaja yang ada komorbid.
When asked on the booster dose, Datuk Seri Dr. Adham said the matter was being looked into by him and Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin, who is co-chairman of JKJ-AV. On the country developing its own vaccine, he said the ministry was preparing a route map and gathering local and foreign scientists for the purpose. Pulau Pinang will kick off the vaccination program for teenagers in the next 2 weeks. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said the ministry has made a projection on the implementation of the program nationwide, which will start in the 4th week of September. Khairi also said the program is expected to be completed before the reopening of school session January next year.
Dalam 3 juta, itu KPI kita. Sebelum awal tahun pembukaan sekolah bulan Januari ya. Tetapi kalau tanya tentang pembukaan sekolah untuk tahun ini, kita akan buat serentak. Besok Yang Berhormat Menteri Pendidikan akan umumkan pembukaan sekolah secara berperingkat untuk tahun 2021. Jadi untuk itu kita akan buat serentaklah program vaksinasi. Tetapi untuk awal tahun persekolahan tahun 2022, then we can give all by then.
Elaborating further, he said there are about 130,000 teenagers in the state who have been identified as eligible candidates for the program. The vaccination program will be held at schools around the states and in stages. Khairi said this during a press conference after attending a meeting with Pulau Pinang Chief Minister Chow Kon Yeow earlier today. On another note, Khairi also informed that the Health Ministry is considering to provide oximeter devices to monitor oxygen levels to high-risk adolescents to avoid happy hypoxia complications among COVID-19 patients. The minister said there is an increase among young people in categories 3 and 5 that did not realize a drop in their oxygen level.
Cara usaha yang kita akan tingkatkan adalah pemberian alat mengesan kadar oksigen dalam darah ataupun oximeter kepada mereka yang berisiko tinggi. Saya telah minta supaya kita dengan segera melaksanakan kiraan bajet untuk kita mengadakan satu assistance ataupun sumbangan oximeter kepada keluarga yang memerlukannya.
Malaysia recorded 19,550 new infections of COVID-19 virus as of noon yesterday and has registered 1,960,500 cumulative cases since the viral disease was first recorded in the country last year. Sarawak topped the states with 3,743 cases, followed by Selangor 2,416 and Johor 2,282. The recovery rate yet again outpaced the number of new cases, with 21,476 individuals were discharged yesterday. There are 242,164 cases being monitored by the Health Ministry, with 536 patients receiving treatment in the ICU and 785 others requiring breathing assistance. 341 deaths recorded, including 102 were brought in dead. The average utilization of ICU beds nationwide is at 81.3%, with Kedah topping the chart at 115%, followed by Pulau Pinang 99.1% and Johor 91.7%. So far, 16,856,812 or 51.6% Malaysians had been fully vaccinated, where 21,195,780 had at least received their first dose. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry MOH will mobilize a total of 200 frontliners to Pulau Pinang in battle against surging cases in the state. Khairi said the mobilization will take place as soon as possible.
We are also mobilizing and remobilizing satu usaha untuk kita menghantar 200 kaki tangan barisan hadapan tambahan, terdiri daripada medical officer, medical assistant dan juga jururawat. Di Pulau Pinang ini ada kekurangan jururawat yang mana kita akan remobilize daripada negeri-negeri lain.
Khairi added that to assist frontline staff at public hospitals, he had been informed that private hospitals would increase patient reception capacity, especially COVID-19 patients. Meanwhile, Khairi also announced the appointment of Bukit Mertajam Member of Parliament Stephen Sim as federal state coordinator for any issues pertaining to COVID-19. In conjunction with the 62nd anniversary of Parliament today, Dewan Rakyat Speaker Dato' Azhar Azizan Harun wants Parliamentary Special Select Committee to be empowered. It has a very important role to implement check and balance in the administration of the country. According to Dato' Azhar, the bipartisan committee is described as being private and specialized to discuss a certain matter in depth without the involvement of politicking.
Kita hendak memperkukuhkan jawatan kuasa pilihan tu, saya rasa boleh dibuat dengan agak cepat dan untuk memberi komposisi jawatan kuasa pilihan yang lebih seimbang di antara kerajaan dan pihak pembangkang tu pun boleh dibuat dengan cepat.
In preparation for the Dewan Rakyat sitting starting on Monday, Dato' Azhar said various initiatives were conducted to minimize the risk of COVID-19 infection. On hybrid sitting, he said a draft for the purpose, which encompassed the procedure of sitting proceeding, regulations, debate and voting, as well as intervention, have been brought to the House Sitting Committee on Monday. If it is agreed, he hoped at least the Special Select Committee meeting could be held online without the need of civil servants to be present, apart from reducing the spread of COVID-19. Minister of Entrepreneur Development and Cooperatives Tan Sri Noh Omar and Deputy Education Minister too, Dato' Muhammad Alamin, today took their oath of office before the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Rayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah at Istana Negara. Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Haja Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandaria and Prime Minister Dato' Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob were in attendance to witness the ceremony. The ceremony took place at the Singgasana Kecil at about 2:35 p.m, which began with the recitation of the Doa by Federal Territories Mufti Dato' Dr. Luqman Abdullah. After taking the oath of office, allegiance and secrecy, Tan Sri Noh and Dato' Muhammad then signed the official instrument appointment, witnessed by Chief Justice Tun Tengku Maimun Tuan Mat and Chief Secretary to the Government Tan Sri Muhammad Zuki Ali. Tan Sri Noh, who is also Tanjung Karang Member of Parliament, was unable to attend the swearing-in ceremony on 30th of August as he had been a close contact of a COVID-19 patient, while Dato' Muhammad, who is Kimanis MP, was tested positive for the virus. Tan Sri Noh and Dato' Muhammad were announced as members of the new administration led by Dato' Sri Ismail Sabri on 27th August, comprising 31 ministers, including 4 senior ministers and 38 deputy ministers. Opposition leader Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim welcomes the announcement made by Prime Minister Dato' Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob in transforming Parliament and government practices. The Port Dickson Member of Parliament described the announcement as a positive step forward. In a statement, Dato' Sri Anwar said discussion to lay a foundation of cooperation to address the COVID-19 crisis is still ongoing. He said the focus will shift towards saving lives and ensuring safety of the rakyat from the COVID-19 virus, as well as rejuvenating country's economic sector. Among key points in transformation plan announced by Dato' Sri Ismail Sabri yesterday are involved of opposition members in National Recovery Council, balancing government and opposition MPs in the Parliamentary Special Select Committee, and opposition leader would receive remuneration and privileges equivalent to a minister. Prime Minister Dato' Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob has extended his condolences to the family of former Federal Police Bukit Aman Criminal Investigation Department CID Director Tan Sri Zaman Rahim Han, who died today. In a post on his official Facebook account, the Premier said the Malaysian family has lost a highly respected personality in the area of security and public order. Elaborating further, Dato' Sri Ismail Sabri said as former Bukit Aman Criminal Investigation Department CID Chief and Prisons Department Director General, Tan Sri Zaman was very firm and committed to strengthening security and public order throughout his service. He then expressed his condolences to Tan Sri Zaman's family on the passing of their loved one and prayed that they will remain patient and strong in this time of grief. Tan Sri Zaman Khan, 80, died at the Institute Jantung Negara at 10:15 a.m. and was buried at the Bukit Kiara Islamic Cemetery after Asar prayers. Tan Sri Zaman Khan was Bukit Aman CID Director from 1989 to 1993 and had handled a number of high-profile cases, including the cases of notorious robber Botak Chin, Wong Swee Chin, and gangster P. Kalimutu or Bentong Kali. He had also served as the Selangor Police Chief from 1975 to 1978 and ended his service in the Uniformed Forces as Prisons Department DG in 1997. Coming up, over 500,000 agro-food and plantation industry workers to receive vaccine jabs under IVAC. Stay with us. But first, Malaysia registered foreign capital inflows of 7.7 billion ringgit for the month of August 2021, marking the highest monthly net inflow since June 2020 and offsetting the declines in the two preceding months. Finance Minister Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul Tengku Abdul Aziz said foreigners also turned into net buyers in the ringgit bond market with a total value of 6.6 billion ringgit. Commenting further, Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul said the country has been registering net foreign capital inflows thanks to the positive progress of the National Recovery Plan (NRP), which has improved the overall public health situation. It also enabled gradual reopening of economic sectors through the National COVID-19 Immunization Program (PICK), which set the tone for Malaysia's stronger economic recovery in the fourth quarter (Q4) of 2021. He said although Malaysia's economic outlook has remained challenged by persistently elevated infection rates, positive progress on vaccination and on controlling critical COVID-19 cases are expected to spur growth. Furthermore, several states have shifted to phases 2 and 3 of the NRP, predicating a wider reopening of economic sectors for the nation's most populous states. The minister also said that the outlook for the fourth quarter Q4 2021 seems brighter, as rapid vaccination rates enable the reopening of more economic sectors. This will boost the prospects for improved consumption from households and businesses, pent-up demand. But the outlook for the third quarter of 2021 may be challenging due to the prolonged phase 1 for several states such as Selangor, which are significant contributors to the nation's GDP. Around 520,000 workers and entrepreneurs from the agro-food and plantation industry will receive their vaccination jabs under the Agro-Food Industry Vaccination Program, or IVAC. Deputy Secretary General of Malaysian Agriculture and Food Industry, MAFI, Dato' Badrul Hisham Muhammad said the implementation of IVAC is crucial in preventing infections among agro-food personnel. Dato' Badrul also said it indirectly will ensure the continuation of country's food chain and revitalize the agro-food industry.
Kita berharap supaya sektor agromakanan akan segera dibuka semula sepenuhnya dan kita boleh memastikan bekalan makanan terjamin. Food security negara terjamin dan tidak ada shortage of food yang selalu menjadi kerisauan.
He said this to reporters when he was met during the local fruit campaign at Sultanah Maliha Hospital in Langkawi. The Prime Minister's Department, Religious Affairs, is investigating a video that has gone viral since yesterday showing a VIP who allegedly jumped the queue at a mosque to perform the Friday prayer. Deputy Minister Dato' Ahmad Marzuk Shari stressed that all worshippers should be treated equally, adding that the Kayangan or VIP cluster should not have existed at mosques.
Saya pun telah menyatakan bahawa biarlah ada budi bicara, jangan hanya melayan kumpulan-kumpulan tertentu. Sebenarnya saya sendiri bila pergi ke masjid di Putrajaya pun saya pun beratur. Ada tempat yang kita kena ikut seumpama ramai lah.
Meanwhile, in a related development, Dato' Ahmad Marzuk said the department will continue to update the standard operating procedures (SOPs) involving the presence of worshippers at mosques from time to time, adding that currently the number of worshippers allowed to attend prayer is still limited. However, the government views this matter seriously and will renew the SOPs when necessary. The Deputy Minister added that the COVID-19 infection rate is also one of the considerations for the government to renew the SOPs to allow more worshippers to perform prayers at mosques, but most importantly, for the country to reach herd immunity first to curb the COVID-19 outbreak. In a foreign segment, 4 of 6 Israel maximum security prison escapees arrested. Stay tuned. Israeli police on Saturday said they have arrested 4 of the 6 Palestinians who broke out of a maximum security prison this week, including a famed freedom fighter leader whose exploits over the years have made him a well-known figure in Israel. The arrest moved Israel closer to closing an embarrassing episode that exposed deep flaws in its prison system and turned the fugitive prisoners into Palestinian heroes. The 4 wanted men were caught in a pair of arrests in northern Israel. Early on Saturday, police said they had caught 2 men, including Zakaria Zubeidi, who was reportedly found at a truck garage in the Arab town of al-Ghanam. Zubeidi was a freedom fighter leader during the second Palestinian uprising in the early 2000s. Video released by police showed Zubeidi handcuffed and wearing a white headband being led away by 2 police officers. In a statement, police said that Israeli security forces, including the military, have been working around the clock to catch the fugitives. The 6 Palestinians tunneled out of the Gilboa prison on Monday, setting off a furious manhunt across Israel and in the West Bank. The United States has removed its most advanced missile defense system and Patriot batteries from Saudi Arabia in recent weeks. The redeployment of the defenses from Prince Sultan Air Base outside of Riyadh came as America's Gulf Arab allies nervously watched the chaotic withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan, including their last-minute evacuations from Kabul's besieged international airport. While tens of thousands of American forces remain across the Arabian Peninsula as a counterweight to Iran, Gulf Arab nations worry about the US's future plans as its military perceives a growing threat in Asia that requires those missile defenses. Just southwest of the airbase's runway, a 1 square kilometer area set off by an earthen berm saw American forces station Patriot missile batteries as well as one advanced terminal high altitude air defense THAAD unit. A THAAD can destroy ballistic missiles at a higher altitude than Patriot. A redeployment of the missiles had been rumored for months, in part due to a desire to face what American officials see as the looming great powers conflict with China and Russia. The Saudi Defense Ministry described the kingdom's relationship with the US as strong, long-standing and historic, even while acknowledging the withdrawal of the American missile defense systems. It said the Saudi military is capable of defending its lands, seas and airspace and protecting its people. Firefighters were forced to retreat from battling a wildfire near a popular Costa del Sol resort due to worsening weather conditions on Friday afternoon. Andalusia's Regional Forest Fire Agency ordered the withdrawal as strong winds and high late summer temperatures, a dangerous pyrocumulus of fire cloud. The pyrocumulus, a weather phenomenon formed by a rising thermal from a fire when heat from the ground rises high into the air, where it cools and causes water vapor to condense, was seen over Sierra Bermeja mountain from Gausin village. The wildfire, which broke out on Wednesday evening, has drawn people to view it, with some taking pictures of the blaze. The inferno burned through around 3,600 hectares of forest in the mountainous Sierra Bermeja above Estepona. Authorities upgraded the fire's classification a notch to level 2, triggering the intervention of the central government, which contributed 2 planes and a come-off helicopter to the operation, bringing the total aircraft deployed up to 69. Emergency workers do not expect to bring the flames under control until Saturday at the earliest. Over 1,000 people have been evacuated from 4 communities in Estepona and one in neighboring Benahavis, and a 44-year-old firefighter died on Thursday night.
With the MERS 999 application system, getting emergency assistance is now easier. Save Me 999 Police connects the Malaysian public to the police. Save Me 999 Deaf for those with hearing or speech impairments. And Save Me 999 Blind for those with visual impairments. Download now for free on your smartphones. MERS 999 and applications make emergency calls easier.
Negeri Sembilan's Francis Kone was sent off after scoring the winner against Sarawak United in a Premier League match last night at Kuala Lumpur Stadium. After scoring in the 92nd minute, the Ivorian-born Kone took off his jersey to celebrate. Now this led him being flashed a yellow card, which was his second, and getting his marching orders. As a result, the 30-year-old missed Negeri's last league game against PDRM FC. But his 5th goal of the season was enough to put Negeri top of the table with 38 points, one ahead of Sarawak. Sarawak were earlier reduced to 10 men in the 65th minute when goalkeeper Sharbini Alawi Ramli was given a red card for a dangerous foot-to-face challenge on Negeri defender Zamri Ramli. Sharbini, who was seen refusing to leave the field, shoved referee Kamil Zakaria Ismail. However, Negeri failed to capitalize on the penalty as Kone blasted the shot over the bar. Fortunately for him, he made amends with his injury time winner. The result sees Negeri Sembilan FC now leading the league table with 38 points after 19 matches, just a point ahead of Sarawak United FC. With one more match left to go this season, K. Devon's men must win against PDRM FC on 21st September to clinch the Premier League title. That concludes this evening's news at 10. In our top story, COVID-19 vaccination for teenagers to be extended to herd immune states. Join us again for updates at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Till then, I'm Berita RTM. Stay tuned to Saluran Berita RTM and have a pleasant evening.